Hi there guys, welcome back to the Tower Tech. This weekend I'm going to the UK drone show, so I thought we'd take a look at my vlogging setup. So the first thing to talk about, guys, is the camera that I'm going to be taking. So my main camera is the Canon 70D. It's a very popular camera amongst YouTubers, and the reason for that is that the cost performance ratio is pretty fantastic. So I actually picked this up secondhand. I paid £400 for this, and you can record in 1080p at 30 frames a second. It has very, very good performance in low light conditions, particularly if you use the right sort of lens. So if you have to dial the ISO up, you do get a little bit of grain and noise, but it's not absolutely huge. I'm actually filming on my Canon 600D, which is going to be my backup camera, and by the power of magic and film, and here we have the 600D. This is still a pretty respectable camera. It's still a DSLR, and the great thing between these two cameras is that they take the same lenses and they effectively work in the same way. The Canon 70D is, however, far superior, has a much better sensor within it, so that will be my primary camera. I'm taking this camera purely in case I have a catastrophic failure of the 70D. I wouldn't want to miss all of the great footage and not be able to share that with you guys, so this is here just as a backup in case my main camera fails. This tiny tripod will be accompanying the selection. It's the GorillaPod by Joby. Absolutely fantastic. It serves as two functions. Effectively, it can become a selfie stick. You can bend these legs out and you can hold the camera out like this so that you can get shots with a wide angle lens of yourself as you walk around. Indeed, you will have seen me do that in many of my videos. The other great advantage of it, because the legs are bendable, is that you can create a makeshift tripod, and indeed you can wrap these legs around railings, etc., so that you can secure the camera if you're doing interviews, if you want to be in the shot and you don't want to be holding the camera. Gives you great flexibility. It's ultra small, ultra light, ultra mobile. For audio, I'm going to be using the Rode shotgun microphone. This is an absolutely fantastic mic. It's powered, which means that you get better gain at the microphone itself, which means you don't have to dial the gain up on the camera, which introduces noise, etc. It's a shotgun mic, so it picks up only what's directly in front of it. It doesn't pick up noise in the periphery. If I continue to talk like this and move the microphone away, you'll be able to see that the audio doesn't pick up anywhere near as well as when I turn it back to my mouth. I've also got this little tripod that allows me to sit the microphone down on a surface. I can step away from it. I don't need to hold it. I don't need to hold the camera, etc., in order to do interviews. It also means that I can use it as a mic to interview. I can have it pointing at myself while I'm speaking. I can then turn it to the person I'm interviewing and pick up their audio as well. Last point about this microphone, and certainly not the least, is that it will attach to the flash attachment on the top of your camera. So when you've got your selfie stick on the go, you've got your wide angle lens, you can have your microphone attached to the top of the camera, plug straight into the mic input on the side of the camera, you can carry it around, you're good to go. You've got all of your audio recording equipment, video recording equipment, all in a hand. By way of lenses, I'm going to take a number of different ones with me so that I'm prepared for all circumstances. The first one that I'm going to take is my Canon wide angle lens. It's an absolutely fantastic lens. It's the ideal one for when you've got the selfie stick and the camera on the go. The other great feature about this lens is it's an STM motor in there, and essentially what that means is it's ultra silent. So as the lens motor is adjusting the focus, you've got your shotgun microphone on the top of the camera. You're not going to pick the noise of that up focusing backwards and forwards. Disadvantage of this lens is its low light performance is not fantastic. The widest that the aperture can go is f4.5, so in low light conditions you're going to have to dial the ISO right up, which is going to introduce grain and noise. The next lens is my Sigma lens. So this is a Sigma 17 to 50mm lens. Absolutely fantastic lens. Now this has an aperture size all the way up to f2.8, which is pretty wide, so its low light performance is going to be good. The downside of this particular lens is the motor is extremely noisy within it. So it's absolutely fine where you've got a scenario where the microphone is away from the camera on a long lead. on potentially the tripod that I showed you earlier, you won't pick up the noise of the motor focusing the lens in and out. If you've got the setup in a way that you've got the selfie stick on the go with the shotgun microphone on the top and you've got this lens attached, you are going to pick up the whirring of the motor focusing backwards and forwards. I'm also going to take a couple of prime lenses with me. Now, prime lenses can't zoom in and out. They're on a fixed focal length, so you can only adjust focus, not the distance that you're viewing them over. But the great advantage with prime lenses is that you can have very wide aperture sizes at a pretty reasonable cost. So I'm actually filming this film on my 50mm lens that you've seen in previous videos, so the Nifty 50. That's got a really wide aperture size, so that goes all the way down to f1.8, and that does two things, so that you get one, the great low light performance, and two, you get that nice blurry background when you've got the focus on the subject that you're filming. I've also got my 24mm pancake lens, also a prime. This goes down to f2.8, so pretty wide as well, and primarily is going to be a backup lens in case I have a problem with any of the others. So we've got 4 lenses that we're taking with us. I think it's going to cover all of the scenarios that we're going to see at the drone show. Hopefully the lighting will be reasonable so that we can stick with our wide angle lens, which is going to give us the best visibility and coverage of all of the various events that will be taking place. And of course, you need a backpack to put all of this in. Now, I won't be taking the drone backpack that you saw in one of my previous videos. It's been made absolutely clear on their website that no one is to take their own drone. There is no opportunity to fly your own device at the show. And frankly, I understand that position. It would be an absolute health and safety nightmare if all of the patrons were taking their own devices and flying them around. So let's go to the kitchen table and I'll show you how everything packs down in this backpack. So I've got a bag from Low Pro. Again, I picked this up second hand. You'll find that I have a habit of doing those sorts of things. It's absolutely fantastic. It's really small, it's really compact, so it's going to be really nice and simple to carry around, and it's got lots of great compartments. So let's get the stuff packed in the bag. So we've got our wide angle lens, that will just pop in there. Nifty 50, slides neatly in there. We've got our Gorilla Pod from Joby, which will go in nice and easily in the side there. Got our various batteries, which will nicely, whoops, will pop in there quite nicely. It goes closed, so they're all nice and snug. We've got our Sigma. Should also point out I have got a flare cap for this. So if I've got particularly poor lighting conditions and I want to avoid flares on the lens, I can pop that over. So just put that onto the lens backwards. That pops in there. Same is also true of the Nifty 50. Screw that cap on backwards as well, and that will just pop in there. Then of course we've got the main body of the camera, so I need to clearly record this on something, so I'm not going to be able to show you both, but the 600D will essentially slide into that space there. That's a little bit snug for the 70D because that camera body is ever so slightly larger. And then we've got the main camera compartment up at the top here that the 70D will pop into quite nicely. We've also then got various attachments that we'll need. There's a variety of different places that we can put these. We can pop that in there. And last but by no means least, I will show you where the microphone will go. Clearly I'm going to need to cut the audio off in order to do this. The last thing to say about this setup is because this bag doesn't have 2 straps, it just has the one that's overslung. It means that you can rotate the bag on your back and you can get access to your lenses really quickly. and open the bag up. And you've instantly got access to all of the stuff that you need. Okay guys, this has been a quick tour of my vlogging setup. We're all set for the UK Drone Show on Saturday and Sunday. If you're not already subscribed, please do so that you make sure that you don't miss that event. And I'll see you in my next video.